Today, we talk Cleveland shooting, bad cops, Lala and Melo, Drake baby mama drama, Ivanka Trump, and more on today's Headlines with Headliners. You guys have to understand, this song is the most hyped song of 2017.
Most hype.
Hey,
This just sounds like a really bad trip to me. Did you hear this? Like, this is not a fun combination of drugs.
Can we all do the same thing? Hold on.
Mask on. Fuck it, mask on. Mask on. Fuck it, mask on.
Okay.
Percocet.
That's how it goes. I'm telling you, this song gets me so turned. I'm so glad we get to play it. Who would think that Molly Percocet would just be that hype, though? Molly Percocet. That's like, because you gotta understand, when you listen to these songs, someone sat there and was like, Molly. What goes with Molly? Tom, what do you think? No, let's add Janine? No? Okay. X-Ray, what do you think? Percocet. Oh, X-Ray, you're a genius.
Somebody get him an extra coffee.
That's some real shit. Like, people really don't understand. When you hear a song, people have written all these things down. So when Gucci Mane says, that's someone wrote,
That's in the transcript.
Yeah, but it's where you write. Like, you have to put it in. It has to be taken into account.
Give him a break for the,
You know what I'm
for the
saying?
burr.
It is. Like, this is a song actually written. Panda.
God. And that's about the clearest that lyric was ever said.
Panda. Oh! High five!
It's lit.
How do you write your name? Designer with 2 eyes. Yeah, that's why niggas can't spell. My name's Tehran, at I am Tehran, all across the board. If you don't know where to find me, then you're not looking hard enough. At I am Tehran, literally everywhere you look. Introduce yourself,
Oh,
people.
well, hey.
Hey, people.
Hey, guys. Hey, world. It's Amber Nicole Sweet on the track.
Okay, oh my gosh. This phone sex
Hashtag
thing.
Tehran and his
Amber
angels
Sweet,
today on
Amber
the
Sweet,
show.
That's what it is. Amber Sweet was just on the radio show now. She's here live. Singer, actress, phenomenon, Amber Sweet. Where can they find you?
They can find me at Amber Nicole Sweet on Instagram or SweetAmber23 on Snapchat.
Hey guys, I'm Joel Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joel Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
That's the radio voice. See that? There's no sexy in there. There's just a
I can't turn it off.
It was really hot.
Sex. Don't take that from her, Tron.
Joel's voice was just like, hey, this is Joel. And that's what I'm talking about. Even though you're on your sexy today. You were on your sexy. You have your Erykah Badu rap. You have so much cleavage just bouncing around. I didn't even know you had breasts. And now it's like, I didn't know you did not have breasts. It's craziness. In a very non-sexual way, by the way. As a coworker, I'm not sexually harassing you.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's up for you to decide.
It is. It is up to me because I'm telling you that it's non-sexual. I am pointing out the fact.
I didn't just say some racist shit and be like, but it's not racist.
It's not
No.
I said it.
Racist is different. Here's the thing. If I walked around and my penis was out, you might not be like, oh my God, let's look at his penis. You'd be like, oh my God, why is his penis out?
It's easy, so I'd actually just be like, put that away,
Actually, you
Tron.
want to know
Like,
something?
just stop it.
Your breasts are sexually harassing me. And of course, all the way to her left, we have...
Hi, I'm Aisha Perry Iqbal. I am from Wales in the UK. And
No one asked. No one asked where you were from.
Well, you need to know because clearly I have an accent and everyone's going to want to know. So I'm from Wales in the UK.
We just assumed you were from Game of Thrones. We were like, yo, she's from Middle Earth or something. We got it.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Aisha P.I.
And Aisha is a wonderful model who is getting gigs all across the country and international. So it's amazing. We can see you on a couple magazine covers and wearing people's clothes and all that stuff.
Wearing people's clothes?
Yeah,
or
that's
not
what-
wearing any clothes.
Well, that's the kind of modeling I appreciate. It's tasteful, right?
Tasteful.
Joelle and
artistic, if you will.
Yeah,
I like
Joelle and her breasts. So,
And her breasts.
yeah, of course we miss Nate Jackson and we miss Kanisha Bus, who are usually here. They're headlining, as it is, Headlines with Headliners across the globe. I made it back. Kennedy Center over the weekend was an amazing blast. We had a great time. Thank you to everyone that came out. And thank you to everyone that always watches and checks in and checks for the show, especially on the live stream. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Make sure to share and subscribe and tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their hot girlfriends to check out Headlines with Headliners every single week. And the reason we want hot people is not because we're sexually harassing, but because
ugly
hot
people can't watch.
No, exactly. I mean, here's the thing: hot people, they have more Instagram followers. Like, honestly, I'm
because
thinking of
Instagram
changing.
followers really matter.
No, because
that sounds like
JJ Fish
that
got
sounds
a
like
lot
someone
of
who's not gonna have a
Instagram
job
followers,
next year.
and he's not
That's real. But what were you saying? I'm so
that
sorry.
guy, Ice JJ Fish. You remember him?
Yes.
He has a lot of followers, but he's not cute.
It doesn't. He does. Look, and I didn't come up with the rule. Okay, I didn't invent the rule. As a guy, I feel like the consumer, the women, have given us a lot of leeway. Even the dad bod became a thing. Like, oh, you have an ugly bod. You're never gonna see someone be like, yeah, I want after pregnant mom bod. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's after
And now stretch marks are like a thing.
No, no, it's not.
But they are.
They are
they're-
a thing. Like,
no
people
one
are
likes
posting them and
No
like
one
love
likes
this.
them. Only other girls who have stretch marks like them.
Oh my
Kendrick
god.
just highlighted them in a video.
Yeah,
so.
Kendrick. Hold on. Have we seen? Here's my problem. Have you seen Kendrick's girl? Do you see what I'm
have
saying?
not.
Okay,
you
Kendrick's
seen
girl
Kendrick?
is hot. Kendrick's girl is
She's
hot.
beautiful.
So it's not like he's like dating like Roseanne.
She might have some stretch marks somewhere.
Maybe, but he's not
He's saying
highlighting
she's
them.
not flaunting them though.
What I'm
I
saying
feel
is
you.
like everyone loves to put out like a flaws until it comes to themselves. Like it's like when Alicia Keys is like, I don't wear makeup. Yeah, bitch, you're Alicia Keys. You're amazingly good looking. You know what I'm saying? Like if Oprah decides not to wear makeup, we might give her a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Like let's let Whoopi Goldberg not wear makeup one day on The View. And she's not. And Whoopi, I love Whoopi. She doesn't even have eyebrows. Do you understand? But she's
Brow
still
ridge is
wears,
prominent enough
Yeah,
that she doesn't
but
need those bitches.
she
It's
still
true, they
wears makeup. Okay, she
does.
still powders before she goes on camera. So what I'm saying is, when people are in that situation and they love saying these things, look at who they are. It's not like the elephant man's walking around like, doesn't matter how you look like. You know what I'm saying?
Be yourself, kids.
Yeah, no, there is a model of beauty. It's just that sometimes we take it way too seriously. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Kendall and Kylie series where you're like duck lipping and using cups to suction your lips and everything.
Can't answer any questions about your Pepsi commercial.
I mean, why would if I was her, I wouldn't answer a single question. You guys have
I
already
would just
ruined
act
her
like
life.
it never happened.
Like who? What
Just act
Pepsi
like
commercial?
I don't know. I
You
didn't
haven't
do
seen
that.
the Pepsi commercial?
No, I'm
Because-
saying if I were Kendall, I'd be
Nah,
like Pepsi.
I'd be
Pepsi
like,
where?
yeah, I made that
I've never
commercial.
done
She made a
Pepsi
pact
Mellow?
with Coachella that if anybody asked her, any reporter asked her about it, they were immediately kicked out, and then they're person non grata for the rest of their lives at Coachella if you ask her about the Pepsi commercial.
I mean, that's a horrible thing. I don't appreciate that because you shouldn't be able to censor. The same way I defended her last week, I'm going to be offended by her. That is something that's outrageous, is to say people can't ask you a question because you don't like the question. That is exactly what we get on the president for, and that's how the First Amendment comes into play. You don't have to answer the question because you don't have a good answer, but to ban a reporter for doing their job, then they should ban you. This is when I
But she's
blame
also
the consumer.
young.
Doesn't
People
matter
are in
how
a
young
I'm
you
so
are.
tired of people
You know,
treating her like she's a baby.
Listen.
Like, girl's a full, like, 20 years old.
she's
isn't she?
20. In
She's
Kenya
21.
right now, she would have like 14 goats and 3 kids. Like, no. You
Why
can't
would
just
she
be
have
like...
3 kids and 14 goats?
Because that's how it works. In Kenya,
There's balance there, if you didn't notice.
It should be balanced.
Somewhere between
Okay.
14 and 3, there's a
that's how it
balance.
works. You know what I'm saying? In Iran, she'd be...
I mean, you just have to take ownership
wrapped.
sometimes for your
Yeah,
actions.
but
at some
actually,
point.
in Iran, they don't rap like that. That's
No.
more your country, Pakistan. That's a true story. In Iran, they actually,
country.
They're Shiite. They wear the covers like down here, and it's chilling.
Oh.
Actually, and just to let
I've
you
never
know,
been.
Iranian women are the highest educated women on the planet. That is the true story. That's not my opinion.
That's not my
Well, see,
opinion.
women are just
The women
in
there,
every way.
they actually in Iran they had to have affirmative action because women were going to a school like higher university so much that they had to have affirmative action for men to get in because women were just outscoring the guys and getting in
God,
and
that's
taking
beautiful.
That's
Because
a real
we are
that is a real
bosses.
thing.
That's
That is a
amazing.
real thing. That is a real thing. So
Shout
hopefully
out to all the Iranians out there.
all
Right.
the Iranian women in the world and in America, in the United States, black women are the highest educated minority in the country, especially Nigerians because of Nigerians. Actually, Nigerians were like Jesus, guys. You know what I'm saying? You would think. And stop sending me those emails, Prince Abdullah. I'm not.
No.
Prince Abdullah.
Story number 1. The Facebook Live drama and manhunt for alleged Cleveland murder, even though we all watched it happen literally on Facebook, we still have to use the word alleged. Steve Stevens officially ended today when the suspect shot himself in the head after a short police chase in Pennsylvania. For the past 2 days, authorities have been searching for Stevens after he streamed himself shooting an elderly man, Robert Godwin, father of 10, grandfather of 14, while he was walking home from Easter dinner. No proper motive was given. The only clue was Stevens making the victim say the name of a woman he was associated with, telling Godwin she was the reason he was about to die, and then shooting him point blank in the head. That is true. I don't want to play the video. The video is out there. You're more than welcome to look it up.
Or don't.
It's crazy.
Don't.
Too much.
No. That's just so cruel.
Yeah, it is very cruel, and it's unfortunate that it happened. And I wish he had not shot himself. I feel like that is the coward's way out.
Well, I mean, you shot a 79-year-old man walking home from Easter dinner. Like, you're not starting with the greatest base character here. On top of that, he did it to get a girl's attention. Like,
It got her attention, though. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Like in the African American community, it is so frowned upon to reach out for help. That too, but to reach out for help, like. To me, to be that far gone in a situation over anyone or anything to follow up with going on a shooting spree of some sort, there were things wrong way before this incident. So to me, it not only is like, okay, who are these people around you at all, including, I hate to say it, but including the woman, like, you cannot...
Who defended him, by the way. Not defended his action, but defended him as his
it's
character.
Like, you cannot... There's such a taboo about even bringing it up about mental health, and I just feel like you have to really check in with the people that are around you, and it's okay to say, hey, you need can we talk? Like what's up? Like, we don't do that enough, and then things like this happen, and we all are like, it's like, but nobody talks about it. Nobody deals with anything. Everybody sweeps it under the rug, and then.
Well, the family even said on CNN that they wanted him to come to justice. They didn't want him to die. They wouldn't wish death upon him. They wanted him to come to justice.
That's a lie. That's stuff people say for the news. Like, oh, we forget. No, nigga, no, you don't.
They didn't say they forgive him.
Yeah, they did actually. They did.
Yeah.
They said they forgave him and just wish he came to justice. Now, only way I'm forgiving him is if Grandpa had a great life insurance policy that's just like millions of dollars. Like, it's a thing. He's 79. 79 is still kind of young. 85, we were like. Here's the thing. It's a question of this is a horrible way to go. It's a horrible way to go, and I am thankful for three things. Number one, I'm thankful that he is dead. Okay, I feel like I'm not a proponent of the death penalty, but in situations like this, I think death is warranted. Situations like this, pedophilia and rape, I think death. Like, I just say death. You know. Number two, I'm happy that the person was found because he was out at large for 2 days.
Super scary, and he claimed to kill a bunch of other people.
Yeah, which it's been unfounded so far, so we don't know. And number three, I'm happy that he was not brown, because let's be honest, had he been brown, it would have been a terrorist attack, and it's already enough. I'm actually still annoyed that he's black. Like, nigga, you know that's white people crime, bro. You know this. You know that's white people. We were mad at the homeboy in San Bernardino.
Yeah,
you know we don't do this, man. We murder suicide at home. If you're in the NFL, you don't do this at the play. You don't hurt other people. Like, don't you get it? We already have enough reasons to get stopped. Don't do this to us.
Every plus bald black man in Ohio was terrified for his life that day. Had to run in the house and lock the doors.
Right.
Just remain hands up inside, like, just in case the cops bust in. Like, I'm not dying today for this asshole.
Rick Ross had to shave his beard. Like, I'm not gonna, he looked like Rick Ross. Bring up the second picture of him, please. Bring up the second picture of this guy. Look, Rick Ross, and that's the guy. That's the picture. Like,
why
right
is he so happy?
I mean, this picture wasn't taken like right when it happened. Right. It's off his Facebook, but you know what I'm saying. This is probably when he was still with the girl before the breakup. You know what I'm saying? But like, yo,
looking like the Cheshire Cat over there.
Because here's the problem: when you say a suspect without looking at him, describe him.
What, a suspect?
No, describe Steve Stevens.
Like a menace, like some like.
No, you have to describe him physically. Describe him. What does he look like?
White, skinny, like psychotic.
No.
This
Literally,
guy.
physically.
Oh, him right there.
The guy who actually did it. I don't know who you were describing.
That's what I would imagine if they said a shooter came in there. I would always put it as
This
a
was my
person.
initial thought as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't think, like an oversized Chunky likes to go to McDonald's every afternoon and
He
eat
worked
like
at
4
McDonald's.
hamburgers.
Did he?
Did he
Yeah,
really? First of all, what you
He's
did
got the
was
happy-
mean, and then you made it logic because even I was like, wow, that's. Aren't you a curve
She's
model?
like, yeah, he worked at
You're a
McDonald's.
curve model. Like
That
you're.
doesn't. We talked about this earlier. That doesn't mean that I promote obesity and happy hamburgers over there. He's
I
a
like
happy
McDonald's,
hamburger.
just to let you know. I eat at McDonald's every day. Okay?
How much are
In your
intestines
room.
That's
doing?
true. That is a true
A
statement.
lot.
Listen,
Same.
I eat at McDonald's so much that my bank called me one day. This is a true story. Called me from my bank, Crystal, and I thought it was something because I'd asked them to look something up, and they were like, "Did you know?" They were like, "You purchased something from McDonald's." I was like, "Yeah, that's probably me." And they were like, "No, we know you've bought something from McDonald's every single day for the last 2.5 years. Every single day I'd eat.
First of all, why y'all in my business?
Well, I'd asked them to look up a transaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did they have to do this?
Yeah, but
They,
they had
they
to
messy
point out
because they had to bring up
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Well, I mean,
Somebody just
thought-
fat shaming you through your credit card receipts, just
I know,
like.
I was
So
like,
they
yo.
thought that in
cool.
real life you look like a happy hamburger.
No. They knew what I look like in real life. I go into the bank. Crystal was like, "You're gonna die." Like,
She was
told me.
concerned about
You're not
that.
She was
okay.
like, "We actually like you. Like, have you heard of kale?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's disgusting." You know what I'm saying?
Delicious.
But
They
he
cook
worked
it
in
down with, like,
he
some
worked in
garlic and
McDonald's.
onions, right? Yeah. I feel
Yeah, kale.
Yeah.
If you listen, here's the thing you have to understand. It's like tofu. If you have to disguise tofu as chicken wings, then maybe tofu's not delicious. Do you understand? You know what is delicious? Chicken wings. And hence I just eat chicken wings.
Chicken.
It's pretty good.
See, that's the thing. So with his crime, you touched on the concept of mental illness.
Yes.
And especially in the black community. And it's very interesting because mental illness in the black community is a taboo subject.
Incredibly.
We all have that uncle who's, niggas crazy, and we don't do anything about it. It's almost as if we act like it doesn't happen and we pretend as if it will go away.
Well, and then we don't have familial support either. Like, for most people, if you have any kind of mental health disorders that require anything further than like seeing a base therapist, like a lot of families are just like, I don't have time to deal with that or help you, or like, I don't want to take you to your appointments. I don't even think you should see a therapist in the first place.
Right.
To like just get out of my house.
Is this
because
an
you're too
absentee dad
crazy.
and the baby mom? Whoa.
No, I'm saying like in my family, we have a lot of not a lot of mental health issues, but we have family members who have mental health issues, and they just yes, Tehran, and like a lot of family members they're like, well, that's their issue, and they need to deal with it, as opposed to like reaching out to individuals and offering them support.
Is it
And a lot of
different in the
people
white community?
In the white community?
Well, they
Is
just
it?
throw money at it.
Well, I mean, where I'm from, we have free healthcare, so I feel like the mental
Yeah,
health
but
issue
England
is...
has its own fair share of crazy people, not to mention you guys started slavery.
No, but-
so I'm not really...
What?
I feel like...
No, but what I'm saying
I
out
watch
here, what I've
Roots.
experienced is a lot of people don't even want to accept that they have mental health issues. A lot
Sure.
of people don't even know, and they'll just do like outrageous things that you don't see where I'm from, because it's easy. You have easier access to healthcare in general, so it's right there for you to deal with it. Whereas like there's a lot of reasons here why you wouldn't deal with it. So
Well, to me, it's a thing. It's interesting you brought that up. There's especially now, I'm some guy in a bathrobe. Like, where does the line get drawn between mental health and
just grubby.
just being extra? Like, that's a thing.
But it's
a thing.
okay to be extra
And thank
in
you
the
for telling
States.
me what you really think of me, Scrubby. Okay, that's
No,
nice. So
it's the McDonald's bag. And
I clean up very nice, just to let you know. I clean up exceptionally well. Okay? I came in a tux. I clean up well. Here's the thing. Where do you draw that line? How do you know if someone's just crazy, or because now we're rewarding people who are mentally unstable? I would argue that a lot of rappers have speech impediments, and yet we're rewarding them.
And I would say that a lot of rappers are mentally unstable as well.
Possibly.
But it also goes down to all the drugs that a lot of them do and the lifestyles that they live. It does affect your brain. Like
That
people
cough
think
syrup has
people think the
affect
weed
your-
doesn't
Yes.
affect your
Yes.
brain. It does. It does affect your brain. Like okay, it might calm you down, blah blah blah. But in the long run, you're gonna end up with psychological issues.
You gotta look at the art too. Like, oh god, the guy who did Starry Night, like he would chew on his paintbrushes, and the paint had
Van
tin
Gogh?
in it. I
Lead
think
and
yes,
something else.
yeah.
Van
so
Gogh?
Van Gogh.
Shush. So he was
Are
a
you
little
speaking
nutty.
of the the famed artist
Yes.
Van Gogh?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Van Gogh would chew on his paintbrushes in order to get that kind of swirly effect. But it made him a little nutso in the head, and it made his eyes go kind
and
of
cut
weird.
his ear off and
all kinds of things. So, but we got great art out of it. So it's kind of hard to say like where to draw that, especially when it comes to art.
No,
Fine
but if
line.
somebody's being purposely extra, like for you wearing that robe, that's a choice that you made
is it?
to be different.
Maybe I'm just trans wardrobe. You don't know me.
No, sir, that's not a thing.
That's a thing.
Trans
Whoa,
wardrobe.
I can make
What?
anything a thing. I can make that a thing.
That's you being extra.
Yeah.
That's not mental health. That's extra.
What I'm saying is this, especially when it comes to matters of love. We all know the concept. The concept is crazy in love, right? So when someone's that crazy in love, and we've all had these crazy thoughts when we've been in love, and I don't know if you've been in love, or if you've been in love, or if you've been in love, but I've been in love. And in love, I have, yeah, true, it was with myself, but I have thought crazy things.
Ignore he said that.
Crazy things. No, but honestly, we've all had crazy thoughts. We've had situations where you're in an argument or a fight or an absence of a person you're in love with, and you've had a crazy thought, right? That fine line. How do you know if this person is sane and then craziness happens? I remember when Lorena Bobbitt cut off John Wayne Bobbitt's penis. It happened within miles of where I grew up, right? In the neighborhood. So that was craziness. And she got off because of temporary insanity. And now she just lives a normal life. That's where temporary insanity plea has come from, actually, is from love. We have the most violence. You're way more likely to be killed by someone you know. The person who's going to kill you is someone that's in your life right now. And most likely someone you're dating or have dated. That is a true story. That is a true statement. That is scary.
Yeah, there was a situation where a girl that I went
No, don't try to throw this
No,
on a friend.
listen.
Oh, this situation
No,
about a girl.
it's a real
It's
situation.
a girl that I know, and
No,
I know
no,
every
no,
detail.
you have to hear the story.
No, like I really know. I knew this girl so well. Like we went to school together, and you know, sometimes when you graduate high school or middle school, whatever, you just like not that you forget about people, but you only kind of you separate, you grow apart, you see people on Facebook, and that's it.
If only you had paid more attention to her. Go on.
No,
please.
but really, she was in a relationship with someone who was very off and on, and apparently it was a very volatile relationship, and no one ever stepped in. And I very vividly remember getting on Facebook and seeing that the gentleman that she was with had not only killed her, but posted a picture of her dead, cut up body.
No, okay, say
On
this stuff
Facebook.
before I start making my comments.
No,
What
but this is
the
what
heck?
I'm saying. Like, this is what I mean by...
Did you know him?
I did not know him personally, but I knew that she was in a relationship
I have
with
a
someone.
question. Was he cute?
No.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because when I hear about girls, stuff like this happen, and it's atrocious, and when I hear about girls that get physically abused and hurt or degraded or emotionally abused and stuff, it really affects me. It bothers me, okay? Because not only is that not okay, I also think, where are these niggas finding these girls? Like, I'm trying to get, like, I need a girl, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can abuse you. Like, where can I find a
Well,
girl?
just
Right.
our story last week. This is our second week in a row talking about violence
it
against
sucks.
women.
Like, where are these
especially with
women?
significant others. But just like the family,
Every girl I know wants to be treated well. Like, sheesh.
but the family of the teacher said that when they first met him, they were like, "Oh, he's a really upstanding guy. He's like a pastor. He's good in her life, and we liked him." Until literally 3 weeks into the marriage, where that same family member is like, "You have to get out of this relationship." Like, there's a flip that switches, and these guys are really good at making people feel like, "Oh, I'm a good guy. I love her. I'm going to
It's
take
actually
care
the
of her."
third week because Mel B was the week before. This is how sad it is.
Well, truthfully,
They
Man.
break you down mentally.
they break you
first,
down
So then
so
by the
many
time
other
the
ways
violence
first.
comes, it's like you don't even realize.
You don't even. It's like you're numb to it. Like truthfully,
It's just kind of like, oh, you get mentally broken down, and in your mind you're starting to feel a little bit insecure, even if you've been like a confident person before. And then
It's a shame.
something violent will happen, and it'll be like, it won't be as shocking as if somebody just came and punched you in the face. It'll just
Right.
be like,
I deserve
like,
that. I drove
oh
you
my
to
god,
it.
Yeah,
he just hit
you
me, and
immediately
now
know.
I feel like this.
You
Like,
immediately
maybe it was my
feel.
fault, and you go
Exactly.
through everything in your head, like, well, if I hadn't done this, and then you don't even realize that it's like
a spiral
that
effect.
You know what?
situation.
Because I feel like that has happened to me. Because I feel like
In McDonald's.
girls hold me, like when I don't text them back, I get abused. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Like,
Goodbye, Felicia.
story number 2. Story number 2. 2 Georgia cops were fired on Thursday, thank goodness, after video emerged of them very brutally and blatantly assault a black motorist during a traffic stop on Wednesday in August. Officers Michael Bongiovanni, so that Wednesday, they assaulted this gentleman, and Thursday they got fired, and which is great news. Officers Michael Bongiovanni and Robert McDonald assaulted Demetrius Hollins, who they had stopped in August previously in a routine traffic stop. The swiftness of the action was due to the reported false report both officers filed and the consequent video that disproved their account of the case. 89 cases of the 2 officers have also been subsequently dismissed as well. So here's the video. Let's play the video in case you haven't seen it. This is Demetrius Hollins in a routine traffic stop. Gets out the car.
Never get out of your car.
Yeah.
No. They tell him to get out of the car. They order him to get out of the car.
Lawyer.
A lot of people don't have lawyers. Gets
This
out
is
the
in
car.
broad
They just
daylight.
hit
Wow.
him. They knock him to the street. At this one, there he gets handcuffed. He's handcuffed as they're hitting him, and he's like screaming. And they're just assaulting him right there. Several video angles, but this was the most prominent one, was right behind the police officers. So here we have Officer Bongiovanni out there just ragging on this guy.
Like it literally in broad daylight.
This is okay. So now Officer Richard came and just kicks him in the head.
Guy's
Boom.
laying on the
Robert
ground.
McDonald.
What?
Guy's handcuffed, laying on the ground. They kick him.
Just straight to the face.
Straight to the face. And so in the report, basically they asked him nicely to get out the car. He wouldn't. He wasn't compliant. He starts screaming, "Help me." They say they're gonna tase him. He gets up. He's defiant. They politely get him to the ground. He struggles and fights back, and they both cover each other up. And
didn't fight back once.
And this isn't the first time. This is actually, there's 8 reports of misconduct, and all of them investigated by IAB, and none of them were founded. None of them were founded. Every single time they sided with the officer.
That's something Chicago Times just did a report on a single police officer who wound up shooting a friend in the back of the head with a shotgun. He had 22 files against him. Each one, they were like, "Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing." And like horrible things of like shooting people. He tased a pregnant woman until she lost her baby. Things like that. And the fact like police like this stuff with the police has been so crazy because it's such a secular problem. The fact that like they don't feel A, respected, B, we don't pay police officers anything, and then the fact that they have like almost zero oversight, combined with the fact that then they don't live and work in the same neighborhood, so they view everyone as a criminal and as an other, and it's disgusting. I'm really proud of this police force for taking such swift action because usually these things take years.
Well, I mean, it's the video helped a lot.
Even still, I mean, the video of them shooting that guy in a police truck where they were like, "Oh, well, we need to go to trial and think, like, was it founded?" Even that guy
that got shot in Baton Rouge, like, the video of him, like, he's literally laying on the floor, not even moving. He's got his hands to his side, and he gets shot. Like, it seems like such a common thing in this country. Like, it's so sad. I feel like
because there's no racism in the UK.
Well, I think... Honestly, now I think there has been racism, but it's been like under wraps for forever. But now we've had the Brexit happen. There's been a lot of things happening. A lot of people who are born, like, because we have a lot of Middle Eastern people, Indians, Pakistanis in the UK who are British citizens, born and raised in the UK. And now there's been white people like, go back to your own fucking country, like a bunch of stuff happening. Like,
well, they wouldn't be there had you not invaded their country and took their natural resources. And then that's something that people need to understand, especially with the taxes. With the taxes, it's not like Greenland is having a huge problem with terrorism, for example. Why? Because they didn't invade anyone and take their land and then decide we're going to disenfranchise the people. But right now we have countries like the UK and France which are having these problems, and a lot of it has to do with it. I do think that there is a mentality and psychology that goes into the kind of person that becomes a police officer, which
probably got bullied,
is attractive to bullies. And that's unfortunate because the best police officers are these noble people who truly believe in justice. And there are police officers like that. And in fact, I would say a majority of police officers are good people who just are doing their job. And then people like this paint a brutal, negative picture of police officers in general. And it's sad. And I get annoyed at the people, especially white people, who deny that these things are happening.
That's what it is.
But I mean, people, even the poor guy who got dragged off the plane last week, like you see people online be like, if he had just complied, like man paid for a seat, like, and there was literally no causation for the actions that were taken against him. He had to be
at the hospital the next day, like.
And at the end of the day, to me, it was like they were doing all this to try to get their employees somewhere. Do better, plan ahead, figure out whatever it is you need to figure out.
Get them on the next flight.
And to me, if you say something is voluntary, that means I have an option.
Yeah, they were like refused to volunteer.
So you can't say, of course I refuse to volunteer my $400.
You drafted him.
Whether
that wasn't a volunteer.
Forcefully drafted him.
Press the button.
Like, what? Like, that was crazy to me. And then suddenly it became a battle of, let's pick out the worst thing that he's ever done in his life and try to create a story around it.
Which wasn't even him. They got the wrong guy.
They had the wrong
Which
guy.
is hilarious.
Agents kind of look, okay.
No.
United Airlines. I was like, hey, United, want to get away? Southwest.
To turn back to your point of, like, good police officers, I think it's frustrating. Like, here we see, like, swift action is great. But I think a lot of times, because you have that uniform on and because you become brothers in blue, a lot of times we see good officers caping for terrible officers because, like, oh, well, our job is hard. Like, yeah, well, of course it's hard. You signed up to be a police officer. Like, that's not going to be an easy gig. I just don't know what people expect.
And that's my
it's
thing.
frustrating.
You signed up to do this. You weren't United, dragged out, volunteered. You signed up to do this job. So do it.
And you can always resign.
And it's dangerous.
Easily.
And it's hard. And we all appreciate it. But what we don't appreciate is that when we entrust you. See, the concept is that you are entrusted with this position. You are entrusted to protect and serve. So while, for example, let's go to the pedophilia situation, right? Where if you have someone like who's a random come and molest your child, it's upsetting. What's more upsetting is when it's a family member, a friend, a priest, a teacher. Why? Because we have trusted you.
Right.
We have given you that authority over and that responsibility and that right and that trust and that faith, and you're breaking that. And that's what makes it wrong, because now it's not only just legally wrong and morally wrong, it's implicitly wrong. What you're doing is a breach of trust, and that as a human being is the worst thing we can ever have happen. If I wave hi to you and you wave hi back and then punch me in the face, that's way worse than if you just walk up and punch me in the face. It's way worse because I've now entrusted you. You know,
I think we have to do better by our public servants. Like,
we do.
Just the fact that they don't have the kind of support, the kind of training, particularly the mental health screening that needs to go into before we hire them as officers. And the same thing for, like, teachers, like, across the board. Like, we do our public servants dirty, like, all the time. And it's kind of
people
gross.
say stuff like this, and it's kind of like how people hate potholes, but no one likes paying taxes.
Right.
The money for this doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes out of budgeting. Maybe we need to budget better. We do have money to drop bombs on countries that we don't have a direct affiliation with, and try to protect them by killing them. Well, maybe we can invest some of this in education and invest some of this in our public servant system to ensure that we have people who are appropriate for the task at hand, who are able to do so. Because this is it's horrible that officers Michael Bongiovanni and Officer Robert McDonald are basically tainting their entire police force. These two men, who, by the way, this is the picture that was released, and you don't see the thugness. You see two outstanding looking, wonderful looking officers.
Terrifying nightmares.
But if they were victims, then we would see them in hoodies and with Skittles and iced tea.
And what's crazy is just how they tried to, like, make the story about the Asian guy or whatever. In situations like this, you very rarely ever hear them try to bring some negative past up of an officer.
But they did. They brought up the fact that, this was not the first time that they've been accused.
That's what I mean. It's a very rare occasion.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate this is why it's so important that as a black community, and as a community at large, and people of color, and all people, not just people of color, even white people, when you see something wrong, stand up for it. Because a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so we have to stand up for each other and understand that in a situation like this, so many black people are arguably victims of police brutality in one way or another. And not so many black people go to the departments and report these brutalities, report these incidents.
Because they're afraid.
I got pulled over for this, but they don't know. It's not just a fate. It's inaction. It's because it's time consuming.
But it goes both
because
ways, Ron. Well, maybe someone is lazy, sure. But I also think, like, when you have people, like, you have a lot of women who are here not legally, who have not yet gained legal status as a citizen, are now afraid to report their abusers because they're being turned over to immigration.
I agree.
And being kicked out of the country. You have a lot of women who've gone to, you know, tell their stories to officers and either been laughed out or told, look, it's not that big of a deal, or just leave him. Like, it's a problem all the way around.
But at least they can report going. And here's the thing. They had 8 previous incidences. I guarantee you it was 80 and only 8 people actually reported it. And that's what my thing is. Like, we have to take a stand. We need to start doing that. We need to start, instead of calling, you email so that there's a paper trail.
It's also not very, the thing is, I mean, for me being foreign as well, if something like this happened to me, I wouldn't know the best way to go about it to report it, even if I wanted to. Like, who do I really go to say what I want to say? Because they're all affiliated together. Who is there? Somebody that I know that I can speak to? Like, and even if I did put an email, how am I supposed to word that email that backs me up in the right way? You know? And I'm educated, so people who aren't educated, how do they really go about? It's not even about fear. It's like, how do you really defend yourself?
Go back to your country. All right, story number 3.
Go back.
There is trouble in La La Land as power couple NBA star Carmelo Anthony and MTV host and power actress Lala have reportedly split and filed for divorce after 7 years of marriage and a 10-year-old son. The two have been seen as a steady couple since 2010 and have broken up over the allegation that Melo was too mellow about personal relationships and has impregnated a dancer from a local strip club.
God damn it, Carmelo.
Oh, God. Bye, Melo.
Everyone's blaming Melo, but...
Listen,
I mean,
it's
well,
not
why
about
would
But
blame
you know who I blame?
Lala ain't went and got knocked up by no other
Yo,
nigga.
did you watch that episode of Power? Huh? Did you watch it when she was getting it? Yo, Lala was getting it. Like,
doing her job and getting a paycheck for the day?
Hello, somebody.
Like, Lala went to work. Yeah. Like, she had to read the script. She had to sign the contract.
Doing her job and getting paper for the day.
I'm not even mad at the stripper. Like, seriously, like, get your money, girl.
No,
that's amazing.
Something like this, 2 things. First of all, we don't know the inner workings of their personal relationship, okay? So maybe there was an agreement. Maybe there were troubles. There was muddy waters that we never got to see. True, Lala was almost at every single game. You know, Lala is 37, Melo is 32. They married a long time ago.
Gabrielle Union and her beau are doing just fine.
Hello.
He knocked up another chick too.
Please. Gabrielle Union and exactly Dwayne Wade are doing just fine because he knocked up a couple chicks, and then and let's not act like when people say this is once again the situation where it's like, yo, they're okay, yeah, because when that paycheck come out, when that check come out, bitches be getting like,
you seen that meme that says,
forgiving.
You know, people heal a lot easier. You know, they heal like Wolverine when that bank account is sitting cute.
Because look, it's not like Gabrielle Union was dating the head cashier at Rite Aid and was like, I forgive you, babe.
That's true.
This is Dwayne. $100 million man. Wait.
But Carmelo, I'm sorry, but
Carmelo
she's
not
Carmelo,
too.
but Gabrielle's fine too, isn't she? I mean, she got Be Mary Jane.
She's chilling.
She did Birth of a Nation last year.
Listen,
I don't think she's hurting for cash.
It's not about cash, and that's the thing. I'm not saying the worst thing a man can do to a woman is cheat, and vice versa. I don't think it is. There are much worse things. However, there is, once again, trust. And if you're in a relationship, right? When you're in a relationship and you have that trust where you're saying we are in a monogamous relationship, then be a man and be in a monogamous relationship. Or don't. Just say, I'm not. Like, if I'm Melo and I have $100 million, I'm... Like, when you're rich, you can say things to girls that you can't say when you're poor. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you can say that, and the girl's just going to have to be like, okay. Like, because you have it. See, that's...
No.
I think it's funny. There's no way I can see Gabrielle Union, like,
Joelle's dated brokenness, so I don't really trust what she's saying. So I'm not really listening. She's like, no, right. And that's why you're single. But this is what I'm saying.
No. It's not all because you guys think it's sad that I don't have love, but actually that's just stopping me from being distracted by other things.
Oh, wow. That sounds like bitter, yo.
It's not about being bitter.
You're on your big Sean, right? Like, I don't care about her. I don't fuck with you. Like, I'm going to make a whole song about how much I don't care.
No, it's just not that big of a deal to be single, especially now, especially at my age, especially when you're building a career. I don't think it's really that important to partner up. But I also don't think that Gabrielle Union is running around letting anybody talk to her in a way that would degrade or demean anything about her personality.
He has children with other women while they were together.
Right,
That's
and she left him
degrading.
for a brief moment, collected herself, thought about it, and said, you know what? He made
being Mary Jane doesn't pay as well as the NBA.
He made an decision,
At it.
but I chose to be a part of this relationship. Like, I choose to forgive this and move forward, which I think is
good,
like
more power to her.
Yeah.
More power to her.
And that's the thing that goes back to what we were kind of talking about this earlier, just about boundaries. And everybody has their boundaries, and everybody knows what they will put up with and what they won't put up with. And when you love somebody, you make exceptions for that person or in that situation that you really may probably never do for anybody else. And there's just a level of knowing what you want for yourself and knowing what you want to strive for. And if that other person is willing to kind of not only accept their responsibilities, because that's also a huge part. If you can't accept your responsibilities, if you're going to act like it never even happened, we're going to have a problem. Like, there's no such thing as moving forward. At least for me, like, I can deal with things a lot more if you can, you know.
Oh my
like,
God, Amber! I already apologized like 14 times.
Like, damn,
Jeez, bro. Really though?
Y'all, he don't pay child
I just feel like it's really disrespectful.
Jeez.
I think it's really disrespectful that he would be doing that and making her look really stupid when you're married.
I agree with that, and I think that's the worst. Now, once again, I understand people, right? And I don't have any qualms about people's personal characteristics, especially powerful people. Rules are a little different, right? So if Carmelo was, you know, some dude on EBT doing it, I'd be like, come on, bro, you have big problems, right? You made Lala, who's always made you look amazing, you made her look really stupid. If this is true, we don't know, we're not sure, but that's the allegation, that's the rumor, and more often than not, when these get reported, they do end up being true. But in this situation, it's like she made you look good. She was at every game. She was showing up. She was showing out. She was putting it down.
And that's what us not knowing if something was going on behind
She did. You did the reality show. You know.
But even if something was going on, she's not disrespecting you
right,
in public
exactly.
in front of other people.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. It's disrespectful, and I don't appreciate. Like when guys come to me and they try to act like it's cool. Like, yeah, I hit her, and I'm like, yo, you have a girlfriend. Yeah, like you're just a liar. Like you're not cool. This isn't cool to me.
It's so many cornballs out here, though.
Yeah.
But it's also then he's telling you that, and then you meet the girlfriend, and it's putting you in a position where you have to then disrespect her.
No, bros before hoes. But what I'm saying is...
what I'm saying is, like, how embarrassing is that for the woman when the guy and all of his guy friends know when it comes out as a girl looking at all of them is like, oh, hella embarrassment.
Across the board, because I had best friends in college who her girlfriend was living in another state. She started hooking up with my roommate. They dated for like 4 years, but she was engaged to this other girl. And I was like, so every time this other girl came up to visit, she's like, I'm so glad you guys are taking care of my girlfriend. Like, I know I was always worried that she'd be up here alone.
Lesbian relationship?
And I had to look her in the eye and be like, yeah.
Girl, she's being taken care of from all angles.
Yes. It's awkward. It's awkward and it's uncomfortable because you have to like lie to that person. Until it got to the point where I was like, I'm just not going, like when she comes up here, I'm just not going to be around. They're like, why? She's so nice. Like, right, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to her face every second of every day that we're together.
And then the person who is doing the real lying, like the person in the situation always make you feel bad.
Joelle's a snitch. Don't tell her nothing, bro.
Well, she stepped
away. You were about to crack right now. Yeah, we're taking care of her.
I just don't have the conversation anymore.
Tyrone.
But see, then that would be me too. You know.
You're such a hater, bro.
That's not hating. What?
My thing is, I personally, if I'm not friends with the other person, I don't get involved. However, I have no respect for the men that come and tell me. And this is the thing, as a consumer, if we give props to people who do this, that's why they perpetuate this behavior. But it's not about shaming, it's about saying, hey, this is not okay. It's kind of how like we've shamed our way into people not smoking cigarettes as much. It's because we said, hey, this is a horrible habit. It smells like crap. It's bad for your health. You look stupid doing it. Don't do it. And more people have stopped doing it. We should do the same thing with adultery. And I'm not saying, look, I'm not judging people's relationships. I'm not there. Trust me, I'm not judging it. You know, I might make quirks and quips about things, but I'm not judging what you do in your personal life. I'm just saying, be honest. Be on the same page with your partner. This is someone who you are saying you can. Now, if you tell her, look, people are like, oh, I'm a pimp. No, because pimp tells his hoes they're hoes. You're not a pimp. You're a liar. So a pimp is actually one step above you, and they're only 2 steps above being scum. So you're lying. You're just lying to this girl and wasting her time, because that's the worst thing you can do to a girl.
Ooh, just don't waste my time and don't have me looking stupid, because that's like the word. Like, I feel like for me, I'm like, if I know what I'm getting myself into, that's one thing.
But here's the thing. Sometimes these girls do know what they're getting themselves into.
No, absolutely.
Melo was a savage, and Lala met him. Like, that's how he got her.
Melo always looks so dorky. Like, to consider, like, I know he's savage because he has money. He's just like those kids from, God, what is that? Oh, Ray Schmurder. Those like little 19-year-old boys, whatever their names are. They can just have sex with whomever they want because, you know, they're young and they have money. But it's also disgusting and not like that attractive.
Yeah, it's not attractive to me. It's not cool when guys come up to me and they're like, oh, yeah. If you have a whole bunch of one-night stands, that means you're having a bunch of horrible sex. Like, you can't do the things you want to do off a one-night stand. You're not sticking your thumb in a girl's butt and hitting from the back. No, you're doing like, no, just getting off and you're done. Like, it takes time. It's like, you got to hit that spot, bro. You got to hit that spot. Story number 4.
Great segue.
Sorry.
Instagram model Lala Lace is not happy with rapper superstar Drake. Drizzy Drake. The IGer alleges that the rapper ghosted her after impregnating her through a meeting connected by her friend DJ Spade, after which she hopped on a plane and met up with him in London, where he was on a world tour. Not only did Lace post a screenshot of their conversation online, but also posted the result of her pregnancy test as of April 17, 2017. This is Lace, that is Drake. She is an Instagram model. I would like to use the actual term, which is Instagram hoe. And she is
thick.
I mean, look, let's not
he
act
really
like...
likes them thick, doesn't
He
he?
likes, I mean, he says it, you know what I'm saying? He says it.
Hey,
he likes...
He's a man of his word.
He likes... Yo, girls, look, here's the thing about thick girls. Thick girls... Okay. Thick girls can take it. Do you understand? The worst thing a girl can do is say, ow. Like, if you say ow, you're done. Thick girls can take the D. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand Drizzy. Ooh. I can understand, like, you getting it. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even picture him tearing it down like that. I feel like he's too delicate.
I mean, once he put on that beard, he's different. Like, yo, this is Drizzy getting it, like, yo.
While he sings a love song.
I was about to say,
no love song. You don't play Boys to Men. You play Jodeci. That's the way to go.
Oh,
you understand?
Lord.
Thank you for that advice.
That is real.
I will take that to the grave.
But I would like to say that Drake getting a girl pregnant is stupid. Like, first of all, where's your pullout game, bruh? Like, where's your
wrap-up game, bro?
Yo, where's your pullout? Like, yo, where's your rapper? You don't know. Listen, okay? I wouldn't even take a condom from her. I'd have my own condom that I've kept in a locked briefcase. Click.
Seriously.
If you had Drake money and status, of course you take your own condom.
If I had Drake money, I would have condoms made out of other niggas' dicks. Do you understand? Like, yo, why are you doing this, bro?
But that goes for all these celebrities and athletes and these.
They just be dipping it everywhere.
Just dipping it everywhere. And then it's just like.
I'm gonna say something awful and controversial. I'm gonna stick up for these guys just a little bit.
No.
If you had access to this much of anything you wanted, you'd take it. You take it every single time. Like people are like, why can't they get control of themselves? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, you should be smart about your game, but I totally understand being like,
and think about your personal health. Like, do you
me.
want your dick to fall off? Because if I were a guy, I'd be like fuck, like that's a relationship. You gotta have a relationship with that thing.
Quality over quantity every single day, and on top of that, you know these girls are trying to trap you.
You know
Why get trapped? Like, yo,
Isn't Drake an official rapper now? Is he now, like, I feel like he can officially, like, reign because he has a baby mama. Like,
no, he
and when
did not
she gets
want
her
to, trust
first
me.
reality show, oh, come on now. No, I promise you, when she gets her
Drake-
first reality show and becomes the next Amber Rose, and he levels up to that next rapper status, this is going to be so good for his career.
I mean,
because his career is not doing well. Listen,
it can only get better. It can get only good things can happen.
This is what's going on. This is what's going on with Drake. He hopes that she gets pulled over by that cop that tases people until they lose their baby. Like, that is his dream in life. He is praying for this at church.
Drake.
He's about to drop a song. Like, this is
But is it
back
even
to back.
true?
I mean, we don't know yet, but I'm saying she's gone online. She's blasted it out. I don't know if it's true or not. If it's true, it's a shame.
She looks like a white girl who over-tanned.
I was going to say, how old is she? What is she?
I have a lot of questions.
I mean, and look, she looks like she has a lot of fake body parts, and that's not even my concern.
That's not a negative.
My concern is, well, I'm not a fan of fake body parts personally, but if that's your thing, that's your thing as long as you did it for your own reasons. What I'm not a fan of is Drake's behavior. I blame Drake in all this because, yo, You're a superstar. Be more aware. Keep it in your pants. Have a responsibility to yourself, even if you don't have one to your fans and reputation. But have one to look, and I would understand if this was the first time this has ever happened to a young black man with money. This is not. Do you understand? This
By
is
any
not,
means.
This is the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not touching the stove because it burns, This is crazy how the definition of Freudian insanity and Einsteinian theory is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. What did you think was gonna happen, bro? You knew what was gonna happen. Like, yo, these girls come out to trap you. You don't believe me? Ask your boy Crizzy Brown. He trap. You guys rap about it all the time. Who do you think you're rapping about?
And what's
But
his
at
name?
the same time, look at what that baby did for Chris. I see women be like, "Oh, but look, he's a dad now," and it's like
Sure.
so sweet. And I will buy his next
Do you know
album.
what
That's
his-
not gonna work for Drake.
Yeah, but Drake is already,
That's
everybody
not gonna
kind of
work for
thinks
Drake.
he's like a simp
Because everyone
anyway,
already
so.
loves him. Chris Brown was going on a downward
Yeah,
spiral,
Chris
so it
Brown-
saved him.
It didn't save him, but like it didn't.
People love
Hitting
royalty.
Rihanna didn't help. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
but I also hope for him that in him having a child and being a dad, like
this isn't royalty.
has-
This is the basement stepchild. This is not the one you flaunt.
The
Listen,
basement
I see a lot of
stepchild.
girls. Listen, we've all been to the mall. And you've seen that one, especially you see a black guy. He's walking 3 to 5 steps ahead of a larger white girl, usually named things like Stacy, Tiffany, exactly. Stephanie, you call her Stephanie.
I got a
Okay, and she's walking with her kid, and she's like, "Come on, rah rah!" And you see this guy every time she says rah rah, he just wants to kill
Is
himself.
this the same
You
girl?
can see him
You know what I'm
cringing.
saying?
Heavens to Betsy.
This is the same girl with the
my
filter.
word.
With the filter.
Because her face is completely
Why
different.
is her face so white?
I mean,
Because she did that makeup fake
contouring.
thing,
Yeah.
you know?
And I mean,
Oh.
it's the little Kim effect. I
She has
understand.
thigh implants? I have so many questions.
I understand what Drake is going for. I'm just saying, look, and more importantly, baby,
Like-
at least you got off easy. This could have been herpes. This could have been AIDS.
But at least
You know
then he
what I'm
could have kept
saying?
that secret.
Like, yo,
At least if it had been
Yeah,
herpes, he
now-
could have been
But,
like,
but in
no.
saying that, but that's really serious. Like when guys do that, especially guys in these prominent positions, like
Yeah.
you really could, like. Do you not think that, like in the back of your head, you're not like, I could die. Like I really could die.
Yeah, well, a lot of men think with their dicks anyway.
Well,
and
that's
then,
true.
Then they're in a power position, and these girls are throwing themselves
But
at
Drake is
them.
also
so they're
young
just like,
with
dip,
money.
dip, dip.
Like that immortality feeling's got to be strong within him.
And he's kind of really right in the crest of
His
like,
album just
moment.
dropped,
And,
and
I mean, he's just, look, let's be real. Even though right now everyone loves Kendrick, when it comes down to the money, when it comes to the superstardom, when it comes down to numbers, Drake's the top.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, wow, why make this silly mistake? Why? And it's a silly mistake only now. Children are never a mistake. You have a child, and that's a blessing. What I mean is the mistake is a career mistake. I'm talking about a professional mistake. I'm talking about a financial mistake. This is a financial
that
responsibility. This isn't just like, oh, I'm gonna have a baby. Yo, you should be in that baby's life. More importantly, you're gonna have to pay for this baby, and you're not gonna pay for this
And
baby
you're gonna have to deal
the
with
way
this
my dad
girl.
paid for me. No, this isn't like I work a job and I pay for my kid. No, you're gonna be giving over $1 million a month for a kid that you never wanted. Like,
with a girl that you probably had
can't
no
even
intentions
stand,
of
or
ever.
you don't even know very well. You barely had like
You
a
don't know-
5-10 minute conversation with her. You don't know anything about
and
this
now,
girl.
this is why, look, here, I have these rules. This is real stuff, right?
No, no,
Because I don't, okay, because my friends will be like, oh my God, that girl's hot. I was like, there was this one girl, right? This is real. I went out, I hung out with her. She was really attractive. You know what I'm saying? One of those girls, she's like millions of followers, whatever. We're having a conversation, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to Puerto Rico. She's like, oh, that's so nice. You have your passport. And I was like, yeah, I have my passport, but why do I need a passport to go to Puerto Rico? And she was like, oh, because it's overseas. And I was like, yeah, it's over AC, but it's part of the United States. She was like, no. As soon as she did that. Why? Because in my head, in my psychotic head, this is what I thought in my head. I'm like, yo, I'm going to hook up with this girl. She's going to get pregnant. She's going to be pregnant. We're going to have a kid. That kid's going to grow up and then lose on Jeopardy because my kid doesn't know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States because the mother has improperly raised my children with improper information. That's how I think. I don't kiss a girl unless I'm going to have sex with her. And I will never have sex with a girl unless I think if she gets pregnant. I'm not talking marriage. I'm not talking about a relationship. If she gets pregnant, I have to take her and this baby home to my parents. Be like, hey, mom. Hey, dad. This is Karen, some whore that I met at a club. Like, and this is who's going to be
Karen.
raising
Karens will never be
You're
the
a
same.
grandchild. I have to trust you to do this. So that limits a lot of girls in your life.
It should.
It does. It really does.
But do people really think like that?
They should.
But they don't, and that's the thing. They don't. People really don't.
But then again, I don't have $100 million, so what the hell do I know? Story number 5. Ivanka Trump's company won 3 new trademarks. I'm just laughing at at how ludicrous the story is. And provisional approval from the Chinese government after a meeting and steak dinner with President of China, Xi Jinping, in Mar-a-Lago, which is the only place that Donald Trump knows how to say. This gives President Trump's child exclusive monopoly rights for her scarves, handbags, and accessories in the world's second largest economy, which is China. So they have dinner. Next thing you know, she's approved for the trademarks, approved for the provisional approval for business, and it's a go. Now, a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are outraged, like, oh, this is a breach of trust and a breach of confidence, and it's a conflict of interest and all these things. And my thing is, you're all right, and yet you're all wrong. Why? This is not the first person that's used their connection to a president to make money or for financial gain. Let's not act like Halliburton didn't exist during the Bush-Cheney years. Let's not act like President Clinton getting a bunch of money for speaking and Chelsea getting an amazing job had a lot to do with her personal success. Nepotism has always been a part of the world, and it always will be.
But Chelsea Clinton didn't work in the White House, and I feel like that's kind of the line people are drawing. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you're close with the president introduces you to the right people, and now you're having successes, as opposed to you directly influence policy within America, and you're also creating a monopoly in other countries. A country we have a good relationship with, but also like a tedious relationship with. Like, there's a lot of back and forth between us. But also to Ivanka, like, congratulations. Hopefully it sells there, because you're not doing numbers here. like she really needed this win. She was not pushing her products here. Yeah, because a lot
of like Nordstrom's stuff, like they said, oh, we're not carrying your line, not because of your father, but just because it's not doing well. I don't know if that's the case or not. I do think that I understand she's in the White House. She doesn't influence foreign policy. And more importantly, I think that...
You think she does not?
I don't think she does.
She's an advisor to the president. That's her title.
Is she? Is President Trump listening to anyone? Like, I think that Ivanka is she seems like a smart one. I don't think she's advising him how to tweet. I'm not thinking she's advising him how.
Well, hell,
to
even if
stuff.
anybody was, clearly he not listening. So
yeah, I just feel like he's his own. Like, look, if I was president, right? If I was president, listen, Nate would be the Secretary of State.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Nate Jackson.
Nate.
You might be Department of Interior, Homeland Security head. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, Nate Dogg is dead. Okay.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I turned down that job.
We might have Nate Dogg holiday though. Like, I feel like March 9th Biggie Day would be a thing.
Yes.
I would do a lot of things.
Oh my God.
Am I mad at Ivanka? No. Am I understanding the situation? Yes. Am I outraged? I think it's interesting. I'm fair, and I don't think it's the first time something like this has happened, and we need to stop acting like this is the first time any of these things have been happening. We need to understand the system of government better. We need to enforce it better. We need to write our congressmen. On this day where we voted for the President of the United States, we also voted for 435 members of the House. We voted for 47 members of the Senate. We could have made a lot of change. That's how change works. And we see that grassroots change happen every single day. We see it with United changing its policy. We affect the government. The government should not... the government should be afraid of us, not the other way around. And we need to be a big integral part of what happens to us in this country.
I agree, but what's funny is you just really like hit a nail on something. You said we affected the way United is now changing its policies. How is it that as Americans we can do that, but we couldn't find our ways to the polls, especially as, I'm going to say it again, as colored Americans? We were so...
Because we didn't have a candidate. Let's not
that's
take
true,
that away.
But
President Obama saw record numbers of minority voters. Why? Because we finally felt like we had someone that represented us.
Right.
We did not feel like either President Trump nor President nominee Clinton were our candidates.
And that's fine, because neither of them were mine either.
Black people haven't overwhelmingly voted for Clinton, though. Like
we did.
But this is what I'm saying. instead of realizing the situation,
Sure did.
And the thing is, instead of realizing in this situation the power that we could have had, whether it was like two of the lesser evils, and we do have. But what I'm saying is, people didn't think that way. They just thought, I'm going to choose to not do this. And then, and that's fine if you're going to feel like that, but don't be mad when what you really didn't want to happen happened. What did you think you had?
I hear what you're saying, but I also feel like that was all. Their fears were kind of confirmed in this election when you see that like 2 million more people voted for Clinton, but because of the way we zone our electoral colleges,
right.
Hold on. And I defend the electoral college full-heartheartedly. America is not just New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Dallas.
I'm not against the electoral college. I'm against the way it's currently zoned. The way it's currently zoned, it doesn't fix the problem that the electoral college was set out to do, which is to make sure that
so you feel
every
like a
vote
gerrymander.
counts. Yeah, absolutely.
The electoral college wasn't set out that every vote counts. In fact, it was set out that every interest counts. And so that's a difference. There's a difference between voting and interest. And so that way, Iowa isn't overshadowed just because Iowa doesn't have people. Because honestly, that middle America, whose voice no one listened to ever, finally spoke up. And they are very important to the backbone of this country. That every time you drink milk or eat steak or anything like this, know where it's coming from. It's not coming from New York City, Manhattan. Right. It is coming from Iowa, and it's coming from Indiana, and it's coming from Wisconsin, and it's coming from these places that we tend to overlook and make fun of, and people get tired of that the same way.
I mean, I grew up with those people, so I totally get the tone and what their needs are and why they're feeling disrespected currently. But I also think that the Electoral College didn't do them a lot of favors now because the president has a 30% approval rating.
Sure, but that was their decision. They voted, and it came to play. And you know what? You reap what you sow, and the chickens come home to roost, and all that stuff Malcolm X used to say is happening as we speak. So it comes down to this. I don't like what Ivanka Trump is doing. I think that I'm not going to be outraged. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to write my congressman, which I do. And a lot of people didn't know the president of China's name. And now they think that they know everything. A meme has made everyone think they're smart. Well, do something about it. Don't just tweet about it. Be about it. Do something. Get up. Be a part of the action. Be a part of your own life. Take civic duty seriously. And that's something that we need to do in the black community, in the white community, and in every community. And so with that being said, that's why we have the show Headlines with Headliners each and every week, right here Tuesday in Black Hollywood Live. I'd love to thank our panel today.
Aisha Perry Iqbal.
Where can they find you?
And you can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at AishaPI.
Hey guys, I'm Joel Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joel Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com. Head over there on the 24th to check my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I loved seeing your nude photos on the internet.
That's not a thing. That is
oh my God.
You're on some crazy shit.
I'm going to make that a thing.
And guys, I'm Amber Nicole Sweet. Again, you can find me on Instagram at Amber Nicole Sweet and at Snapchat at SweetAmber23.
And I am Tehran, literally at I am Tehran all across the board at IAMTEHRAN, aka the bathrobe heartthrob. Make sure to tune in next week. Right down here, write your comments down below. We'd love to hear from you.
Hashtag Tehran and his angels.
Headliners. Nate Jackson, Kanisha, you are missed. Hopefully we'll see you back next week because I'm tired of Joelle, who I love so much. Guys, Headlines with Headliners. See you next week.
Bye.
Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live. Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.